because I think they're important. And the one is be kind to yourself. One of the main limbs of yoga is called ahimsa. And ahimsa is do no harm. Do no harm to others, to beings of any sort, and do no harm to ourselves. So be kind, be loving to yourself. Let your body be your guide. So that's one of the important parts of yoga and of the practice. And then the other is to maintain really good alignment and posture. And so if that means that you're only going to a quarter of what I might go to or someone else might go to, that doesn't matter. That's your quarter and you're in good alignment. That's what your body's telling you to do. And that is the next aspect is, again, listen to your body and go with your breath as well. So let's match that breath and that movement. So right now I'm seated in a tall, upright mountain pose in my chair. And my feet are flat. And I have that alignment set up between ankle, knee, hips. Here I am. I'm rising up through that nice, long, straight spine. I feel a connection right here on the top of my head, the crown of my head that's lifting me and lengthening that spine as well. I'm going to pull down on my shoulder blades. And as I do that consciously, I'm going to feel the muscles right in here with that pulling down of my shoulders. And I'm going to just let my hands come and rest on my thighs. I want to close my eyes. And I want to find softness in my face, softness with my eyes, softness in my forehead, softness in my cheeks and my jaw, softness in my tongue. So take it away from the roof of your mouth. Feeling everything just from the neck up, being really relaxed, really soft. My earlobes and my ears, if I can soften them a little more, I'll do that as well. So that's really soft, but the rest of my body is really aligned and contained and keeping that nice upright posture. Take a few breaths here as we notice when we breathe down deep into our belly, the expansion and then the contraction as the belly button pulls in. This is that area that I'm talking about to be really conscious of anytime we go forward. And when you're jiggling or when you're walking on rocks and stuff, a lot of time our movement is really jerky and forward. And so let's be working with our core in any of that. And also we'll open up our hearts a lot today too to help relieve some of that lower back. So let's begin with a little bit of that. Let's take our hands on our hips. We're going to do cat and cow, but instead of having our hands here, we're going to have it in the hip so that we're going to feel how that pelvis moves when we do cat and cow. So bring the pelvic bones forward here, right here. Feel that arc in your spine and then look up. Maybe press down into the hips just a bit. And then pull in right here. This is where I want you to be strong. Right in there. Take the chin towards the chest. Exhale. Feel your hips. Move forward. Heart opens. Shoulders down and back. And then bring it on with the chin to chest on an exhale. Keep going. Inhale. Bring yourself up. Marking the rhythm of your breath. Yours is different than mine. Be true to your breath. Nice and full. Exhale should be at least as long as your inhale, maybe longer. Let's do a few more cycles of that. Feel yourself rocking in the hips. Feel yourself rocking on those sits bones. One more set here. Really open up your heart. And curling into your slowly selves. Coming back into that long, extended, strong, seated mountain pose here. And let's go ahead and do a little flowing with our arms. Arms are down. Exhale. Inhale them up. Lengthen the side body. Exhale. Hands come to heart center. Inhale. Lengthen out. Extending through your fingers. Exhale. Release on down. Continue that simple flow. Inhaling as we rise up. Exhale. Take your hands to your heart. Now you may be breathing. Moving at a different rate. But keep that flow going for you. Okay? Remembering that generally when we pull away from the earth, we're inhaling. When we lower, we're exhaling. When we're opening through the heart, we're inhaling. Coming close to the earth, we exhale. Let's do that 2 more rounds. Your rhythm. It's also good for the memory, right? What is that little flow? How do I build the muscle memory into that flow? And exhale, hands come down. Good. Let's take one hand, cross it to the opposite knee, and extend that other arm out to the side. And your hand is upward. Inhale, lift here. And hold on to that knee, and let's come over. So we're not twisting here. We're opening up that side body, but we have that arm extended so that it's helping us with that connection to release a little bit more maybe in that side body. Sometimes we'll do this while holding on to the side of the chair. Today we're making it anatomical by holding on to our knee area here or thigh. Inhale, lift up. That's long. And exhale, hand comes down, nice and slow and smooth. And reverse. Take the other hand across. Lift on up. And let's take it over. Really feeling that push and pull here. One side coming in one direction, the other side trying to keep us from moving in that direction. Open up your fingers wide and that extended hand. Feel that increase throughout the muscles of the arm there. Next time, inhale up. And come back and sit in tall, strong tree for one breath here. I'm going to do that again. So begin on whichever side you'd like, crossing over, arm reaches up. We're still going to take it slow and statically. So really hold on and come on over. Find that nice opening there in the side body. Find how your breath here on my inhale, I feel length. On my exhale, I feel depth. One more full breath. Pull in at the navel point. Lift up slowly. Find yourself coming back into that neutral chair for one breath. Noticing the warming of the waistline here, the sides of the body lifting on and in. Take it on over. Maybe pulling that upper shoulder back, the lower shoulder under. Open up your fingers wide. Take a couple breaths here. Trying not to fall over and off your chair. We don't want that. And your next inhale, take it on up slowly. And release back into seated, tall, long, strong, and mountain pose. Let's go ahead and take our arms out, palms up, and we're going to shift our body over. Push down into your sits bone zone. So we're just shifting at the waist. Come back to center. Take your hands face down. Open up the fingers wide. Come over to the other side. Sits bone pushes down. Working in that waistline here. Come on up. Inhale. Flip the hands. Exhale. Over to one side. Bring yourself up on your in. Flip the hands, come on over. So just maintaining our arms strong at shoulder height and flipping here and there. You're going to feel that strengthening your arms, and we're moving with our breath, shifting back to the center on our inhale. Coming on over to the side on an exhale, push down through your feet as well as your sits bones. Bring yourself back. Let's do that 2 more sets. Shifting over, opening up through the heart. And remembering to shift our hands up and down as we come from one side to the other. Arms might be feeling a little bit tired by now. Maybe not. You're all strong warrior women. So with those nice strong arms, bring yourself back. Rise up, inhale. Let's come into eagle arms. Exhale. I'm going to stay right under left, but you do what you do. And find yourself either in this position or moving towards your forearms perpendicular to the ground. We're going to lift on an inhale, and we're going to make circle down on an exhale, circle up on an in, and around one more time. Exhale down, inhale up. 2 times, going the opposite way. Exhale down, inhale lift, exhale, and bring it up in. And walk your feet out so that you have open hips, open knees on the edge of your chair here. Lift up high, inhale. Come down just a quarter, pull in at your navel. Inhale up, lengthen, exhale. Do that quarter again or come halfway. Find what is in your body today. Repeating quarter or half, or come on down even farther. If you do, make sure you come up really slowly so we don't have head rushes going on. Let's do that last one, whatever your depth is, another time. Pull in at your navel. We're in an inversion. If your head is lower than your heart, pull in, lift up. And now come just to half. Pull in, navel to spine. Exhale as you come forward. Inhale, rise up. Bring it to a quarter. Push down with your feet, opening up through the knees. Inhale, lift. And let's let go of those arms and bring them on up. Inhale. This time my left is coming under my right. And I'm finding that wrap that is workable for me. Finding myself still at the edge of the chair. And I'm going to take 2 circles with my arms this way. We're opening up shoulders here. We're working on the joints of, and reverse, our elbows as well. And when we're moving forward, we're working on our core strength. And come a quarter. Push down through your feet to rise up on an inhale. Repeating a quarter or come to half. Really extending your breath on that exhale. Repeating either one or taking yourself to the depth that's right for you. Watch that lower spine. Okay? If you're coming forward, pull. I want you to really feel you pull in at your core there, okay? In through your navel. Breathe on up, inhale. And if your lower back is a little bit feeling today some way that you don't, it doesn't feel that great, then please only go to quarter or half. Or if you are extending yourself, keeping spine long and core strong. Those are 2 things you can kind of repeat as a mantra. Okay, long spine, strong spine. Come on up after being halfway down. Let's do a quarter. Just reversing out of it the way we came in. And, oh yeah, release those arms. Woo, bring them on up. And from here, let's start our wrist rotations, coming on down. And moving in the same direction as we slowly bring them down, maybe slower than we want to. And let's reverse on up, taking them and moving in the opposite way, feeling that all the way down into our arms here. Lengthen, and then take yourself down into right here, Anjali Mudra. And we're going to take our elbow to our knee on one side of our body. We're going to press in, hands together at the sternum, pressing down with our feet, and just taking a look up if that feels right, into a bit of a twist here, not much, just a start of a twist. But breathing. Pulling in at the navel, be strong here. Slowly rise up, slow from that. Nice, good. You did it really slow. And then come back to the other side. Elbow towards thigh or knee. Hands in that beautiful prayer position. Breathing. Feel your bellies expand under your breath. And your next inhale, roll in at the navel, bring yourself up here. And release, hands down. Take your hands on top of your knees or thighs, and let's come up onto the balls of our feet and then back down. I want you to feel that in your calf there. So rising up high, bring it on down. Maybe take your hands to the back of your calves, and you'll feel when you do that what's going on with the muscle there in your calf. 2 more times. Good. And now let's take it down to a little deeper twist and stretch. Taking one arm down the inside of one leg as the other arm comes up. And then we extend if that feels right. And you're in almost just kind of a modified triangle pose here. We would be in triangle pose. We would be like this. And one leg would be behind us. But our arms and our waist, everything else is just about exactly like what we're doing here in the chair. You can extend arms and hands and fingers wide and long. Pull in at the navel as you begin to bend that upper arm down, slide it down as the other one slides up, back into our center here. Feeling nice and long here, right through the spine. And then we're going to take one hand on the opposite side down, the other one lifts up. Find that elbow point. Extend up high if that's good for your shoulder. Take those fingers on the extended hand downward towards the earth, the other one extending upward. Open up those fingers wide here. Find yourself in this triangle pose. Breathing still, open heart. Bend that upper elbow. Begin to slide it down as the other one slides up slowly, maintaining really good strength right here in this band, okay? Lots of good strength there. Let's move in and out of goddess pose. And again, you can take this standing or seated. I'll do some seated and then some standing. Inhale, lift up here. Exhale, come into this cactus arms or trident mudra, okay? And we see a lot of our images, both in Hindu and native cultures, in this pose. It's a really strong pose. It's also fertility pose. So here we are. Then inhale, lift. And exhale down. That fertility thing is a little bit scary to us that are over 50, right? Inhale, lift. Maybe I'm the only one out there over 50. Inhale up. Lengthen both sides. Exhale down. Planting into the earth our seeds. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale. I'm going to take it off the chair. You guys do what you want. Inhale. Exhale. Rising, lengthening. That's your in-breath. Coming back down to plant. Exhale. Nice and slow. Following our breath 2 more times. Good. If you stood up, find yourself back on your chair. Take your hands on down onto your knees here. And we're just going to shift and kind of turn our one shoulder forward as the other one turns back. And let's find a twist at the waist here. And then bring yourself back into centered, neutral, and then one shoulder forward, the other one back. Bringing ourselves back and repeating. This is that in-breath. Oh, this is that twisting, okay? The visceral breath of a twist, twisting into our abdominal organs. One more time each side. Maybe when you breathe out on that one, you want to hear yourself with a sigh. It's like we're squeezing everything out there. Bring yourself on back. And let's walk our feet in. We're going to do warrior 2 pose here. And so you want to come with one leg off to the side of your chair. And you've got knee and ankle in alignment. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways of doing this. This would be a more modified form where you have the front knee at a 90-degree angle. Or you can begin to take that leg back. So you would scoot the front leg back towards you more so that you have that 90 degree. and you're coming on the ball of the back foot there. And then I'm going to take it down to a 90-degree angle, right? So you can be like this as a warrior two, or you can take it back where this leg is more forward and this one is at 90 degrees, okay? The legs right now with the chair supporting us are about what they look like when we do a standing warrior two, right? Those of you that are familiar with the Virabhadrasana warrior two series. So here, if you're okay with that, here in the groin and in your hip, press into that outer part of your back foot. Extend your arms long. Otherwise, this leg again is at a 90 degree, just in front. And let's go ahead and take a look over the front fingers. And let's hold our arms out nice and long and strong at shoulder height and breathing here. This is a nice way to practice the warrior two alignment. So if we were standing, we would be up off the chair, right? But this chair really helps us to get everything in alignment. I really like that aspect of using a chair. And then, so then if you're with me tomorrow, we'll do warrior two without the chair. So here we are. And now we're going to take that back arm down that extended leg, okay? The other arm comes up, fingers towards the ceiling, offering, okay? We're offering ourselves here, strong warriors. And we're coming back just a bit more maybe with each breath, no forcing. It's what feels right for you. If the fingers feel good to keep coming and your side body is open to it, then let that happen. You're squeezing on one side and opening up the other. And we are breathing all the time here. Breathing in this warrior two. Two more full slow breaths here. See if you can find more depth just with breath and gravity. Pull in that band, okay? And bring yourself back up into warrior two. Looking over the front hand and trying to even out and make your arms symmetrical here. And then we're going to pull our body forward now, okay? And you can bend the front arm, elbow, and place your forearm on your thigh, or you can slide that hand down your shin area to your ankle maybe, or somewhere lower that feels right, and then raise the other hand up, okay? And we are now in a triangle pose. And remember that planted foot over to your extended side there. Plant it down. Feel that you can feel the outside of that foot, that edge, digging in a bit into the ground. That's what you want now, today, so that tomorrow when we do this without the chair, you're going to also feel that, okay? Keep breathing. Nice, big, open-hearted pose here. Hold on into that center core. Bring yourself back up. Warrior two. Taking a look over that front arm. And now we're going to move from here into warrior one, okay? So that you'll note the difference. Take your hands on down to the chair. That back foot now, you want it to come so that it's out a little bit more. Okay, not directly behind your hip, but out a bit. And it's at a 45-degree angle. And what's that's going to do, you guys, I don't know if you just noticed that, but instead of my hips being this way towards you in warrior two, my hips are now away towards that bent knee, okay? That's a difference here. And my foot is at that 45-degree angle, okay? So now our arms, instead of being straight out this way for warrior two, for Virabhadrasana one, warrior one, they're upright here. Continue pushing into that extended leg. And again, if this is too much, take that leg out to the 90 degrees that we had for that modification from before. So long arms here, extend. This is your warrior one. Arms are lifted high, length on the sides of your body. Then we're going to take one arm back behind us, grab onto the chair, or maybe slide it down that back leg and see if we can open up our heart a little bit more here. Breathing. Open up your fingers wide as well. Push down through that back leg. And then rise up, lifting that one arm up. And guess what? Take the other arm behind you. Hold on to the chair if you'd like. And lift your heart. Breathing. Heart happy. Fingers open wide. And then lifting both arms up. Back into warrior one here. Those were exalted warrior ones. And here we are in just a regular warrior one. And now we're going to take that into a humble warrior. So take your hands, interlace them at the base of your spine. If that's a lot, just take your hands on your waist anywhere here, or you can actually do it with your hands at your heart, okay? So if your shoulders are happy to squeeze, you can do this. And instead of our bodies forward completely, we want to just come to an angle here. Because of the chair, we may not come down that far, but pull in at that navel. Bring yourself forward just about a quarter of the way here. And breathe. Feel both feet pushing into the ground. This is where we get our exercise for our legs here. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, come on down, maybe another couple inches. Again, we're not going to go full force all the way and head down. We'll wait till tomorrow for that. We've got a chair in our way anyways. And lift up. And release. Arms come up. And exhale, hands down to the chair. And let's come back to the center. Let's take ourselves into seated mountain for a couple breaths, because that was a little bit of work there to go all the way from warrior two into warrior one. I was going to have us do crescent as well, but we'll save that. So, but that should feel like you did a little bit for your legs, okay? Take a couple breaths. That's what I repeat on the other side. All right, let's go ahead and open up one leg here. Turn our bodies to the other side, wherever we were before. And again, this leg doesn't have to extend all the way back. If you did it on the other, that's great. Otherwise, you can just take it out at that 90 degree. If you did extend on the back, then that might mean that that front foot and front leg come more onto the chair, and the other foot comes behind you. Place it at 90 degrees, okay? Press into the outside part of your foot. Those of you about the 90 degree thing and geometry and all of that, it should run about the same direction as the edge of your mat on the back side, okay? And then our hips are more kind of angled. And we're going to extend through our arms here. Open up our fingers wide. Press into both feet. Feel yourself as if there's no chair there, okay? You're pressing in so much that you're almost lifting yourself off of that chair, okay? Preparing for good, strong warriors tomorrow in our standing series. And we're breathing here. And then beginning to pull ourselves off center line and letting that back hand come to the back leg. Or you can wrap it around. I don't know if I offered that before. And lift the other hand upward. Fingers out, arms extended, the other one running down. that back leg or extended behind your waist. Find what is working for you today. And if none of this is, just sit gently, quietly, breathing in your mountain pose. At any time, you take and listen to your body, your breath. Push into your feet. One more breath here. Lengthen the depth. Pull in at that band right around the middle and bring yourself back up into warrior two. Here we are, extended all the way out. Fingers, arms long. Feel that in the chest here because you're pushing out so much. And you're breathing. And then let's bring our weight forward, bending forearm onto thigh, other arm reaches up, and this hand and arm can extend down if you'd like. There's no have tos, need tos, anything. It's just another option, okay? Or keep it nicely firmed on your thigh with your forearm there. Opening up the fingers up above, nice and big and long. Finding your breath. Maybe pulling back that upper arm just a bit to find your heart space a little more. And your gaze goes where you feel like you need. If it's always going up, maybe we need to look down a bit. Push into that back foot. Push into the edge of that back foot. And then begin to slowly lift back up using all of that core strength that you have here. Warrior two. Virabhadrasana two. Go ahead and let your hands come down. And let's shift into that warrior one, where that back foot comes more at an angle. And you put it at a 45 degrees, and you take the leg from being straight back behind you to angled out a little bit more. And we take our body and we angle it more forward here. So you may need to shift on your chair, right? As best you can. I have this fancy dancy chair today that I get to use. Pushing back into that outer part of that back foot. My shoulders and my hips are more forward. My front knee is up directly above that front ankle. And I'm going to raise up my hands here, lifting and lengthening. I should feel that especially when I'm seated more than even when I'm standing here in that hip flexor, especially if I'm pushing back into that back foot. Extend my fingers and open wide so that I feel that all the way through my arms, down into my pecs. Lengthen on an inhale. And keep it when I exhale. One more time here. And exhale. One hand comes down, slides down that back leg, and raise up, heart, gaze towards the ceiling, through the ceiling, into the sky. Push into that back foot. Plant that front foot. Use your lower body energy here as well as your upper body energy. Lifting, breathing, looking, expanding. And then rising up slowly. Back, both arms extended high. Lengthening both sides of the body. And then taking one hand back down, take it and hold on, maybe at the chair there, and release back. Find your opening there, push into that back foot, open up fingers, and just keep going through your body and saying, okay, what else can I do here? Or what do I need to do less of? Talk to yourself. Read your body. And then bring both arms up. And breathe. 2 breaths here. Glorious. Sphere of Vajrasana 1, Warrior 1. And let's take our hands, either hold onto the chair or interlace fingers here. Push down and really open up your heart. Either holding onto chair, squeezing shoulders together, or interlacing our hands and hips, looking up. Maybe just looking at an angle. Find what's right for your neck. Push down. We're probably relaxing that back foot, at least I was. And then rise up. And then pull in at the belly. Come only a quarter down. Feel that weight distribution between your feet. Try to make it equal. So push back in that back foot. Solid on the front foot. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, maybe coming a little lower. Humbling ourselves just a bit here. Strong core, lift on up. Squeeze those shoulder blades and then release hands. Look up. Push through feet. Lengthen side body. Exhale, hands come down. And let's shift ourselves back in to mountain pose. And let's just close our eyes for a moment. Taking a few breaths here so that we can just come back into a regular heart rate, regular breath rate, because mine has gone up just a bit. And doing that, those different postures there. Couple breaths here. We're going to do a little bit of standing with the chair. We're going to work on 3 or 4 different standing poses with the chair. So if you like to remain seated, you're welcome to do that. And I will add modifications for it, but this is going to be with the chair. So if you'll take your chair and move it so that the seat is towards you. Okay. And we're going to pull in at the navel. Okay, pull down. Take your hands onto the sides of your chair. Okay, take your feet back just a bit so that they're underneath your hips. Your back is fairly flat here, kind of in a halfway between forward fold and standing upright in mountain pose. And then bend your elbows and take your head closer to your chair. Pull in at your navel here. Maybe your forehead comes in contact with the chair. And then lift up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend into elbows, forehead to your chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One more time, your breath. Bring it on up, half lift. And then walk your feet in just a bit. Walk your hands maybe further into the seat of the chair. And we're going to practice what it would be like to do the 3rd warrior series, and that's warrior 3. So we're here with a flat spine to begin with, and then we're going to take 1 foot behind us, trying to keep it maybe just a couple inches off the ground or no higher than your hip, okay? And I want to turn my hip down to begin with. I want it turned down. And doing this with no arms or hands, and your arms and hands are forward off the chair, that would be the 100% Tula Dandasana Warrior 3 pose. But we are just working right now in our glute and our hip, and we're looking downward. If you'd like, you can bend your elbows again and put your head towards the chair. Lift that leg up even more now. Go higher than your hip if you want or can. Take a couple breaths here. And then bring yourself back to hip height, okay? Hip height here. And then I want you to bend that knee and bring it out and take it back. Bend it forward, take it outward, and send it back. 2 more times. Bend, come in towards your chest, out, back. 1 more time. Working on that hip and your glutes. And then let's reverse that. So extend back into your warrior 3. Bend, take the knee forward and down and extend. 4 times total. That was 2. 3. And 4. Extend back and let that foot come down and walk out your legs a little bit. Anybody feeling that? Maybe in your hip a bit. And then let's extend the opposite foot back. Flex the foot. Maybe you're only coming to a few inches off the ground. That's okay. Find what's right for you. Right now, don't go any higher than your hip though. And maybe bend into your elbows and take your head down. And then if you want, you can extend that leg up higher than your hip. Feel that lengthening in the standing leg. Pushing down with the foot that's standing, lifting up maybe a little bit more into the foot that's extending up into the ceiling. And then bring yourself up here. And let's do bend knee, open up, extend back 4 times. So we are lubricating that hip joint. We are working in the gluteal area here. And reversing. Your count 4 times, please. Extends, it bends, comes down, and then go ahead and place it down. Walk your feet out, and let's take both feet back. And we're going to come into down dog here. So your feet come down, your arms extend long, your hands are flat on your chair. Trying to have your ears cushioned with your biceps. Your tailbone floats back a little bit farther. We breathe here. If you've been seated in the chair, this can be done modified. And I'm sorry I didn't keep up with that, but hopefully you were moving. And this can be done by most of you, I believe. And so let's go ahead and walk back up and find ourselves seated on the chair again. Love working with a chair. It just helps to extend and accentuate our postures in a really nice way. So let's go ahead and sit up, nice and long spine again here. We're going to do some hip work again, taking one foot, either crossing an ankle, shin, or right above your knee area here. And we're going to work in pigeon pose. So we've got the knee bent. We're feeling that right here. We're going to take and place our forearm right along our shin. We're going to take the other hand back at our hip. So we're not only working in that hip to on the outside of the one hip, but we're going to take a twist as well and look over that back shoulder and breathe. If you notice, my foot is flexed, So that means it's active, or I can point it, but I'm keeping it active to just add a little bit more to the strengthening of what I'm doing. And then I'm going to come on back around slowly, always coming out of twist really slow. And then I'm going to reverse, place the other forearm along the side of my shin. And I'm going to take my hand behind me or maybe on the chair to give myself a little bit more ability to come into the twist, keeping my foot flexed or pointed. And I'm going to go ahead and feel that maybe a little bit more in the outside hip as I twist. Breathing. Slowly, always so slowly coming out of a twist and sitting up straight and tall. And then we're going to take ourselves forward with a flat spine and maybe just stay there. Or if you like, go ahead and release your head so that your forehead comes close to that shin on top. And you just let yourself breathe into this. You'll find yourself grabbing your breath, opening up more, pulling at your navel though. Strong core. Begin to lift slowly out of that forward fold into an upright long spine. And let's release that leg down. 1 or 2 breaths here in mountain before we make that transition. Keep things nice and even and symmetrical. Let's take that other foot over. Sitting up straight and tall here. Foot is flexed. We're open here. Take one forearm along the shin. Hold on to my foot maybe. Take the other hand behind me, holding on to the chair. And taking a twist. Looking over. Feeling that opening by a little bit of pressing in with weight into that shin area or closer to the knee there. And then bringing myself up. Inhale. And I'm going to reverse. Find the other arm. Hold on. Find the back of the chair or the side of the chair, whatever's going to assist me here and leading me into a little deeper twist, but only if that's what body says is good. And ask yourself, is that top foot flexed or pointed? Is it active? Because you'll feel that more in your hip if it is. And then begin to slowly, slowly, slowly come out of that twist. Lengthen the spine first and then come forward, maybe only this far. Or if you like to take your arms and lengthen them down towards the ground and let your head follow. Be my guest. Foot flexed or pointed. Feel that outside hip. Slowly bringing yourself up with navel really strong here. And sitting up straight and tall. Let's release that foot down. We've done several forward folds. Let's counter those with some opening through our heart. So let's go ahead and take our hands flat, right on the base of your palm, at the base of your spine or the top of your hips. Pull back on your shoulders and your elbow points. And let's go ahead and let ourselves open forward here. Hips, heart, gaze upward. Squeeze into the shoulders. Open up through the heart here. And slowly lifting yourself up out of that take a breath or two seated here in this kind of wide-legged chair pose, wide-legged mountain pose. I guess all of these are chair poses because they're seated in the chair. Let's do another heart opening by taking our hands, interlacing at the base of our spine, push down, pull back, open heart. Breathing. Pulling gently back into a straight spine. Letting our hands come down. Letting ourselves breathe here. Couple full, slow, deep breath. Let's take and walk in our feet. I want you to bring them so they touch one another. I want you to touch the sides of your calves. Your knees are going to come into one another as well. And we're going to take our hands on the outside of our knees. And we're just going to squeeze everything in to the center of our bodies with a straight spine. Arms are long. They're strong. They're squeezing. They're pushing in. Knees are pushing into one another, knock-kneed. Ankles, we feel them. Feet, we feel them. Connecting to one another in a nice, strong way. Let's give a few more breaths here in a nice, contracted way because we're about to go into relaxation. Contract. Inhale. Exhale, release. And for the first time, if you like, take your back to the back of the chair. If you have something for your feet, if they're dangling and that doesn't feel well, then place a pillow or some blocks if you have of wood or the regular yoga blocks, whatever you have there. But go ahead and take and tuck your shoulders back into the chair. My daughter has these fancy dancy dining room cushion chairs. This is the fanciest one I'm ever gonna probably sit in. And let's sit upon our throne. So we're gonna sit really strong here, regally, all right? So have the shoulders back, the heart lifting, taking a few breaths here, knowing that we've come and done something really good for ourselves in this hour. Promising that we're going to continue doing really good things for ourselves. And that coming here to our Zoom meetings is one way to activate yourself, but to take what you learn from these classes in through your daily life experience on your own. When you become your own teacher, your own sage, that's when the true sharing of the learning has occurred. So take it in, and even if it's just noticing your posture through the day, noticing your breath, noticing your alignment, moving with consciousness, I ask that you do that for yourself. And it always is nice feedback when I hear people share that, you know, something that they've done in their day that they remembered and